Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
And hello, everybody. I like cheese.
I'm John, and I like motorcycles.
And I'm Andrew. I like podcasts.
I'm Michael. I think I don't even said my name, did I?
You never even said your name. I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" All right.
I think after 86 episodes, everybody know who I am. Who I am.
By now, they should. Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast. Just a little podcast where the three of us like to look back at toy lines from our childhood and give a history lesson of where those toy lines came from, how they were created, and how they ended up in our houses. This week, we rewind back to 1993, and we're traveling out of this world to talk about another little toy line by Galoob, none other than the Biker Mice from Mars. This is a fun one, guys.
Did you have
that's pretty cool.
I think I had one. I don't remember which one it was. I was looking at them and I was like, I had one of these. I think it was Moto, but it could have been Vinny, and I'm not 100% sure which one, because they kind of look. I mean, they don't look necessarily the same, but like they both look familiar. Maybe I had both. I don't remember. These fit right in with the turtles. These fit right in with the turtles. So who knows?
They fit perfectly with the turtles. Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. It's going to be a fun episode. So, but before we can do that, John, you want to do your thing?
Yeah, sure. There we go.
I know Michael's had issues tonight, but you didn't have your notes up?
No, I had them up, but I clicked on other stuff, and they're right here now. So, all right. So, social networks, where to find us, guys? Check our website over at toyrewindpodcast.com. You can also check us out over at crossthestreamsmedia.com. While you're at Cross the Streams Media, check out our other podcasts that we have there that are our brothers and sisters over there having fun doing the same thing we're doing. And of course, you can leave us a voicemail on there, and we'll play it on the podcast if we get it. You can email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch is all Toy Rewind Pod. Facebook and YouTube is Toy Rewind Podcast. Check out our Toy Box showcases as we put them up on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, of course. And let us know what you think. The little things we do here and there, opening fun little things we get here occasionally. Michael usually spurs those pretty much more than the rest of us somehow. And I know he's still got plenty of other stuff to do too. So he's got to make time to do some big ones. And then,
I've got a couple we need to do.
Yeah, a couple of big ones. If you want to play along with a game while you're listening to us to see if you can get a bingo, check out our podcast bingo over at podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind. Thanks to Andrew.
Yep. Check that out. Always fun to play some bingo. I haven't looked at our actual squares lately. Still doing some recoding on that, but haven't looked at our actual squares. So those might be outdated. I don't know.
I'm sure they're way outdated, but I'm sure most of them, half of them.
It's all right.
Probably.
You know what's not outdated? Shout out to Mom and Dad.
Right.
Without Mom and Dad, we don't have a podcast, and we don't have toys to talk about. So shout out to Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Yes. So this week, this is gonna be a fun one. You guys got anything fun going on this week?
Work. Yeah.
That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing too. Just work.
It's just work right now.
That's life these days, I guess, right? Just work.
I'll get through this weekend through Monday, and then I'm taking some time off. So
I finally got our pool open. So we're gonna be doing some swimming this weekend. Finally,
I'm gonna come visit.
I just got to get it warmed. The pool just needs to warm up now. It's pretty cool, but the
more bodies in it, it'll warm up
quicker. Open for business.
It's open for business, so I'm excited about that. It's gonna be a fun weekend. All right, well then, with that, I guess it's time to rewind and get into it. Michael, you ready?
Let's go.
All right.
All right. So Biker Biker mice from Mars. It's kind of hard to say. Sometimes.
Biker Mike.
We're not talking about you.
What would say? Microbikes.
Microbites from Pluto.
Yeah. So these were released in 1993 by Galoob. This toy line introduces us to the alien mice that come to Earth and ride motorcycles. So kind of a weird concept.
I mean, when you think about
it's a fun concept.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about the time frame and the fact that we've been playing with Ninja Turtles for like 5 years at this point.
Yeah.
And we've got Street Sharks. I mean, there's so many from this area. They're all like the same kind of thing.
They're all the same idea. So taking a page out of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book, Rick Unger, who was at the time the CEO of Marvel Entertainment and oversaw New World Family Filmworks and New World Action Animation. He came up with the idea of anthropomorphic mice from outer space. So this guy he just came up with this idea, thinking, hey, we need something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so let's do mice and make them frisbees and make them ride motorcycles.
Yeah, he came up with this. He was watching a turtle episode and was like, "We got to come up with something." Oh, you know what? Let's do mice, but we'll make them cool. Not like Splinter mice. We got to make them cool, like they're the big thing. So obviously bikers.
They kind of look like Mighty Mouse or something, similar to that.
Yeah, very similar to that.
Doesn't look like Splinter. It doesn't look like Mickey Mouse. It's more of like a Mighty Mouse look to them. So
yeah, Mighty Mouse. These guys are jacked.
So the story follows Throttle, Moto, and Vinny, who escaped their home planet of Mars, and they crash land in Chicago, which happens to be in Quigley Field, which is their version of Wrigley Field in Chicago. Was
it Quigley Field?
Quigley Field.
I guess they couldn't use Wrigley Field, so they used Quigley.
Somebody didn't get the permissions.
So they pledged to defend Earth from the same evil, which were called Plutarchians. So I guess they're from Pluto. That destroyed their homeland by stealing all the natural resources, because the Plutarchians, where they're from, their world was falling apart, so they had to go find natural resources from other places. So they went to Mars and started scavenging those natural resources, and then they came to Earth, and then the biker mice. So the biker mice ended up at Earth, and they pledged to save Earth from the same feat that Mars just went through. So the Plutarchians were led by Lawrence Lactavius Limburger, and they were already on Earth when the biker mice showed up. So, but Limburger was disguised as a human businessman trying to make a profit by stealing natural resources and then shipping it to his home world. This theme kind of played into the Earth Day type vibe, like Captain Planet and all them like that. It had somewhat of an educational plot, so they can kind of get around. At the time, if you had a cartoon that had a toy line with it, you had to have some kind of thing in there to where an educational theme, so that it's not selling a toy. It's not a big commercial. So they had this Earth Day type theme. Clean up the planet, save the planet, all that kind of stuff. So it kind of got them around that law where they could still do this and sell the toys at the same time. So the cartoon lasted 3 seasons and had a total of 65 episodes. If I remember right, it was 13 episodes in the first season. 39 episodes in the second season, and then 13 episodes in the third season. So 65 episodes total. So it was long enough. It was in syndication. So this toy line, it consisted of 28 figures. They were about 5.5 inch tall, so it's about the same size as your turtles. Most of which were the three mice in different costumes, because they kind of took that same idea that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had, and just used the main figures over and over with different disguises and stuff like that. So
they just did it in what, 1 year as opposed to 12 years that the Turtles did it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So there was also 18 different vehicles in it, because you had to have motorcycles since they were biker mice. There was
Lots
two
of
play
motorcycles.
sets. Yeah, there was 2 play sets. 3 super bendable figures, which were just kind of rubber figures with little wires in them, and you can bend them around. And then there was 3 12-inch mega mice, because this is Galoob, so they had to have, they were micro machines, and now they're 12-inch figures.
Mega
But
figures.
since it was Galoob in the 90s, there were 4 micro machine sets to go along with this line. So they had to
That's
throw
cool.
them into the micro machines. Like everything else,
I mean,
they
obviously.
Galoob had a micro machine line, part of the lines. Yeah. So, so most of these figures, like I said, they were 5.5-inch figures. The mice, I know, had 10 points of articulation. The others, like Lindbergh, I think he only had like 5 points of articulation. I don't think he had everything that the others had. So you guys want to get into the figures here, or you got anything else to add?
Yeah, let's get into the figures, because
Okay. All right. So we'll just talk about the basic figures first. So you have Throttle. He's the leader of the biker mice. Let me find my. Okay. So, also about the mice, since they're from Mars, they do have antenna on their heads, like aliens do, that you would think a Martian would have. So they do have antennas. They all come with helmets that they have when they ride their motorcycles, and their antenna kind of go down in their head, so they can it doesn't bend them or anything when you put the helmet on them. So, which is a pretty cool idea. So you're not breaking your antenna off the mice.
Right.
it's also a pretty cool idea to wear a helmet while driving a motorcycle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
We support the helmet motorcycles, cyclists.
Yes. So you got Throttle. He's the leader. And they all have little weapons and action features with them. So he's got a sprocket launcher that actually fires little round discs. That's another thing I noticed about this line. They actually have things that shoot. We saw in the 80s where a bunch of lines were going through the recall type stuff because of the dangers of putting an eye out or something like that. But these guys actually have things that shoot. So these guys, like
everybody got over the dangers of that.
I guess so. By the 90s, they whatever. So
They're like, look,
that's your fault.
They're probably thinking these kids aren't on drugs. They're playing with toys, whatever. Let them do whatever.
Yeah. So he also comes with a helmet. So it's pretty much, he looks like a biker guy. He's got a black leather jacket. It's got the zippers on it. He's got some kind of little
earring.
Cool. Yeah, he's got his earring. He's got a cool shades he's wearing. He's wearing some kind of belt, and he's got boots on. He looks like a biker thug kind of guy. So
Jacked biker thug.
They're all muscular.
These guys are jacked.
Yeah, they're all muscular. So they're not.
Michael, say the word jacked. They're jacked.
They're jacked.
There you go.
You guys said jack, so I'm saying something.
It just sounded like you were trying to avoid saying it.
Well, I mean, they're all jacked up.
There you go.
Not on Mountain Dew.
Not on Mountain Dew. Okay, then you have the next one. His name is Moto. So he's got a firing rocket gun. So this guy actually, and you see that they're little rockets, and stick them in the gun. There's a little button on the side, and it actually shoots them out. and it shoots a pretty good. It's got a pretty good little spring in there that shoots those out. So he also comes with a helmet as well, and he has apparently he had his arm blowed off or something in the wars and Mars or whatever, but he's got a robotic arm. And inside his forearm, there's also another little gun that kind of pops out, and he pretends he's shooting with his forearm too, in that mechanical thing.
I mean, if you're getting a robotic arm, it better have a gun in it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
these guys also have tattoos, so I thought
yeah,
that
they're
was
little
pretty
tattoos
cool.
on their shoulders. Yeah, little biker mice tattoos. This guy's got a patch over one eye. He's had it pretty rough because he's got, like I said, he's got a patch. He's got a robotic arm now. The ear that doesn't have the earrings in it, he's missing a part of his ear.
Well, the earrings probably got ripped out there.
They probably did, yeah.
His front teeth, he's missing part of his front tooth. If you look,
yeah, his little.
So he looks like he's been through it. But I mean, if you've been blown up and your arm's been blown off, you're probably gonna have some damage.
He's
probably so. Yeah,
he's been through it, but I'll tell you right now, he's still jacked.
He's still jacked.
That is true.
Yeah. All right, so the next guy, he's got an 8-pack. Did you count them, John? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, he's got an 8-pack. All right. Okay, so the next biker mice you have is Vinny. So this is a mouse.
This is not
cool attitude here.
Yeah, so. This is not your cousin Vinny.
Right. I was about to say that.
Not our Aunt Vinny. So
not our Aunt Vinny. Yeah.
So he's kind of
mouse with a cool attitude.
Yeah, he's got an attitude. He's got like a metal plate over half his face. I guess he got his face blown up or something. I don't know.
He's half android or mouse droid.
I guess so. But I
mean,
that's
the only thing.
No.
Half mouser.
It's just
I think he's a half mouser.
He's got a let's see what else he got. Oh, he's got the little bullet things going across his chest where he holds his, I guess, belts. I don't know what we called bandoliers. He's got a little neck handkerchief. He's got blue jeans on. You know, he looks
and no shirt.
With no, yeah, he's no shirt.
It's a mascot, or what is that? It's a Fred from.
That's an ascot. Yeah,
you're
right, John.
Okay, it just sounded weird.
But he makes it look good, not dorky looking. So,
well, when you're that jacked, everything looks good.
I guess so. Yeah. So,
I bet Fred's that jacked. He just wears a shirt, and he's from the 70s.
Yeah. He's got the cool gloves with no fingers on too. He has biker gloves. But he has a helmet as well. But he has two weapons that come with him. There is a crowbar that kind of spins in his hand, and then there's a grip claw is what it is. So it's got a little claw thing. He reaches out and grabs things with it. So that's Vinny there. Like I said, these guys have got 9 points of articulation. They've got their head moves, their shoulders, their elbows, their knees, their hips and their knees, and then their tail moves too. So
they counted the tail.
Yeah, the tail can move back and forth. So
would that be 10?
That'd be 9. As you got
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, wait,
5,
it's 10.
6,
No, it
7,
is 10.
8, 9. Yeah, I was about to say
it's 10.
It's 9, and then the tail makes 10.
Yeah, that's what I wrote on it. I don't know what I'm saying here. Okay.
I would like to point out that this grip claw is not like the old man claw things that help you pick things up. Like this one's actually cool looking.
It looks like more of the Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget hand that I always saw.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good sized claw on there.
Yeah,
so, yeah. All right, so let's go to let's go to Charlie. Charlie's the next one.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Charlie is like April O'Neil to the Turtles. She's an expert motorcycle mechanic, so she can fix up their bikes if anything happens to it. So she has a light up laser welder So it's this big old welder thing that she carries. It's almost as big as she is. And it says it lights up, but at the end of it's a little thing you twist, and it's got a yellow streak on the side. So when you twist it, you see the yellow streak kind of show up, and then it disappears, shows up, and disappears. So
it doesn't actually light up. There's no battery power.
No,
I
don't see any battery.
That's what I was trying to figure out earlier.
Yeah, I think it's just the yellow on top of the red. When you spin it, you can see that yellow every so often, and it makes it look like it lights up. So, but like I said, she's more of the April O'Neil version. She's kind of a cowboy. She's got cowboy boots on too, I guess. Just no cowboy hat.
So her boots on the figure look more cowboy-like, but the boots on the picture look more of the biker black boot with the strap across the top.
Yeah, they kind of do, yeah.
So I think they're still biker boots. They're just
fancy biker boots.
Yeah,
right.
No. All right, so the next character you have is Lawrence Limburg. He's the bad guy, the evil master of disaster. Now he has a giant working trap, so a mouse trap. So you got to flatten it out, and I guess when somebody steps in the middle of it, it's like a big bear claw that spreads out, and it catches your leg. So another thing,
I like how it says giant working mouse trap.
Yeah.
It's not really giant. I mean, it's a big working mouse trap.
Yeah, and it only catches their leg. It won't catch. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but you look at this picture on the card, and it's got this hand sticking out of it, like it just swallowed somebody.
Yeah, like it just swallowed the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
A human hand on top of that.
Yeah, it's a human.
It's not
hand.
A mouse hand.
So,
you can tell. Yeah, I don't know.
Something about this guy, he's an alien. He's a Plutarchian, so he actually looks like a fish, a stinky fish. I think is what he's supposed to have, like a smell to him because his last name's Limburger. But his head, he looks like a fish. So he comes with this little face cover, looks like a human face that puts over his head, so he looks human. So he's got his human head disguise, is what that is. So
okay.
And then let's see. So
he's got 4 fingers, and I don't know why that stood out to me. The mice have 5. He's got 4.
Dude, the mice have 5?
An alien.
Yeah, I went back. That's why I flipped back to the mice a while ago.
I got you.
Oh yeah, well he's an alien.
Yeah,
right.
He's an alien, and he's got a big suit.
Yeah, but the other ones are mice.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a businessman, so he's got a suit. Kind of looks like dang it, my mind just went blank. It's like he's a business guy. He's like a big banker. So
he looks like Kingpin.
Kingpin, yeah. I don't know why.
But in a purple suit, not a white suit.
Yeah, he's a purple suit. So
and he looks like a fish.
So, all right. So the next guy you have Dr. Carbuncle and Fred the Mutant is next.
Fred the Mutant.
So let's talk about Dr. Carbuncle for a second.
Okay.
So he looks like a mad scientist. He's got the little skinny, scrawny body with a huge head on him. But I don't know what this thing he has on the side of his belt that has I guess I need to watch the cartoon, but it's got a tube that goes all the way up and connects to the side of his head. So I don't know if he's pumping things into his brain or what he's doing, but
maybe you plug him in so he doesn't die.
I don't know, maybe so. But it's got a little button on top of the thing that connects to his belt loop. So I don't know. It looks like he may be pumping stuff into his head. And then you've got Fred the Mutant. Now he's got the feature on him where it's a little button on his back, and you push the button, and his head comes out, and it shows his brain. So his brain kind of pops out. Now something about Fred the Mutant is, he's a little short fella. He's got 3 eyes. He's got a kind of a funky smile. He's got 1 human arm, and 1 arm looks like an octopus tentacle. And then 1 foot looks like a werewolf foot, and the other foot looks like a reptile.
Alligator? Reptile foot, yeah.
Yeah.
He
So
kind
he's a
of
little,
reminds me of Mix Match, Hunchback of Notre Dame.
yeah, he's kind of that, yeah.
He's got 3 eyes.
Yeah, and they're not even all, and you have your 2 normal eyes and 1 eye is above the other eye. It's not in the center. It's not
He didn't
centered
even have
up or
2
anything.
normal eyes, Michael. They're not even straight there.
No, none of his eyes are
They're
straight.
all off.
They're all over the place.
So if you see this figure, he's just an oddball figure.
Yeah.
So
and then, like I said, you
Carbuncle,
hit the button and his face comes down and his brain pops out. So
Carbuncle's responsible for all the technology used in the show and through the thing, including Moto's arm, Vinny's faceplate, and Throttle's eyes.
Mhm.
Which I guess we didn't talk about Throttle's eyes because
They're
just eyes. You don't really notice them. They're not as much as
So he had shades on. So I mean,
yeah, he's got his shades on, so you don't really notice them like the arm and the faceplate.
Yeah, you can see those, but the eyes on Throttle. I guess that's more prominent in the cartoon series. So all right. So the next figure we'll talk about is Grease Pit.
I like Grease Pit.
So Grease Pit he just looks like your normal everyday goon. So he's dumb, he's dirty, and he dips grease from every pore of his body, or he drips grease from every pore of his body.
He looks like, was it the Bionic 6 that had a guy like this?
Yeah, he's just kind of a thug. Yeah. So, let's see.
Go back.
He slips and slides into action because he's all greasy. Yeah. So he's got this little jumpsuit on. He's got this big old. His character. He's got a big chin. He just looks like that thug. Any kind of bad guy's person. Now his weapon. He's got a. Let's see, what is it? It's a grease gun, and let's see,
A grease tank.
And a tank that goes on his back. It's like an oil can, big old, those big oil cans that people use to burn trash and stuff in. He's got one of those that he puts on his back, and you can fill it with water, and it shoots through his gun. So it actually shoots water, like a little water gun. So it's a pretty cool little feature that he's got. Let's see. I'm trying to see what else.
That's about it for him.
Yeah, that's about it for him. So let's move along to Electromag is the next guy that I got. So he's a magnetic maniac energized for evil, is what his card says. He actually has. He's some kind of little robot. He's an alien robot or alien. He's in a robotic suit. I don't know. But he's got these. He's got a little laser gun that comes with him. But he's got these 2 tentacles, kind of like Dr. Octopus, that comes out of his back. And one has a claw on it. The other one actually has a magnet in it. So he actually has magnetic powers because he's got a real magnet in it. So in the toy. So I don't know how that goes with your biker mice, since your biker mice are made out of plastic. They really don't stick to it, but yeah, it's a pretty cool little feature he's got on it. It's got a magnet. So let's see what else. Okay, so that's pretty much it for him. He just looks like an alien robot with Dr. Octopus tentacles.
All right.
Okay, so we'll do Evil Eye Weevil is the next bad guy.
Evil Eye Weevil. Oh my god!
Now this guy is pretty interesting. I kind of like this guy.
This guy belongs on a Scooby Doo episode.
Yes.
He does. Yeah,
Very
he
much.
does. Now
Maybe the one with Kiss.
he's a undead guitar player is what he is. Now I don't know what his guitar. He's got a guitar with him, but he doesn't have any other weapons. He's got. What's cool about him is you can shine a light in the back of his head, and his eye glows. And then there's a button on his back that you press, and all his arms and his legs, he just goes limp. It's like one of those little toys. You push the bottom, and the spring loosens, and it just falls over. Then you let go, and it pops back into place. That's what this guy is. So,
okay, interesting.
Yeah, so you press the button on, and he just goes limp. I don't know what that does. I guess you have to watch the cartoon to see why it's important, but it's kind of a cool little feature. And another thing he's got is on his guitar is a big eyeball right in the middle of his guitar. It doesn't come out or anything, but you can actually roll it around. It looks in different. You can move it to make it look like it's looking in different directions.
Is it slimy? It should be slimy.
That would be kind of cool if it was, but I don't think so.
I'm sure it's not.
I'm sure it's not, but it would be cool.
Okay, so the weapon. Okay, I just saw this. So his evil. It says hostility rays shoot out from his evil eye. Guitar with a rolling bloodshot eyeball transforms to a gun when turned over. Okay, so his guitar turns into a gun. So that's what it is.
Okay.
All right. So one more figure for this line, the basic line. His name is 4x. And he is... I don't think he's on that list you were looking at, John. Okay. Now, he is a rough and ready, tough trucker. And let me... so he's got a roto action hammer drill. So what you have is this little on the side. It's got the little hammer, and you can spin the hammer. And then on the front of the weapon is a drill. And as you spin the hammer, the drill spins the other way. So he's just like a kind of a Casey Jones to these guys, because he's a good guy as well. So he's like Casey Jones to Ninja Turtles, Casey Jones to them. So he also has a mask. It looks like a welding helmet as well. So without the shade part, it just opened up where his eyes are. So it's a pretty cool figure as well. Okay, so that's the basic line of the toys. Now you're getting into the rest of the figures are kind of different. Different kind of costumes and stuff like that. So you have the Astro Bros. Let's see. So the Astro Bros is actually the biker mice. You got Meteor Bashing Throttle. You have Planet Hopping Moto, and then Star Blasting Vinny. So these guys are kind of like in space mode. So they go outer space wearing their space outfits. And then there's also one other. There's Sky Skim and Rimfire, which is actually Moto's nephew. So they added another mouse to him when they added these. So let's see. And then this line also has vehicles as well. So you have Throttle's Neutron Racer, which was a bike. You had Moto's Crater Cruiser, and then Vinny's Cosmic Charger. Those are all motorcycles that they ride. And then Rimfire doesn't have a vehicle.
He doesn't get one. Probably a sidecar.
Maybe so. He can ride in the sidecar. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just sidecar type character.
Yeah.
There is one that has two sidecars.
Yeah, we'll get that down.
Sounds pretty.
So, okay, so now we have Freedom Fighters, which is the mice again. You have Tail Ripping Throttle, Commando Moto, and then Rad Rebel Vinny. You also have Rimfire again. He shows up with this group, and then you have a new bad guy named Napoleon Bree. So these guys have got, I mean, they're your normal your biker mice, but they have more of a cool looking '80s, early '90s theme suits. I mean, they're kind of
Yeah,
like camo
very
looking,
much.
but they're bright colors. Like, yeah. So this is Throttle. He's got his suit he's wearing is white and purple with purple stripes. Camo, I guess camo
It looks
spots.
camo, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I was about to say,
camo,
those don't
but
look like
it's kind of
stripes,
purple.
Michael.
Yeah, just camo spots, camo. And then go back to who'd you have up just a minute ago? Vinny or Moto? Now Moto's is purple and pink, or is it kind of a blue and pink
It's kind of a
more-
bluish.
kind
I'd
of
say
a
it's more
bluish color.
bluish.
Yeah.
So they're putting bright colors on these guys. Like I said, these are the freedom fighters. Now let's look at Napoleon Bree. Now he looks like, I guess he can be kind of like Napoleon. He's got the little shoulder pads like Napoleon, but he's kind of short and stocky with a big old
That'd be
pointy
Napoleon.
head. Yeah, I guess he's kind of supposed to look like Napoleon with his hat on. I don't know, but he's a creepy looking fella. So.
And different eyes.
Oh yeah, his eyes are two different colors too. Yeah, just
And
noticed
then
that.
I guess he's an alien too.
Yeah, most of these are that they pull in. I think in the cartoon, Dr. Carbuncle transports these guys in through some kind of portal from their world. So
I think Rimfire's outfit's probably the most normal.
he just kind of looks like a commando,
Yeah.
I guess,
But it's
Rambo
orange
and-
looking. He's got
orange
dog
and-
tags on, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks more
it-
army-ish. G.I. Joe looking suit is what it looks like, uniform. So, who's this? Vinny. Vinny's got a light blue and green camo suit on. Yeah. So, so we'll move on to okay. We'll talk about they have vehicles for this Freedom Fighters line as well. So you have Throttle's Spike Bike Chopper, Moto's Commando Cruiser, Vinny's Rebel Rocket Cycle, and then there was a Sky Commander with fighter pilot Vinny, which is a glider that you actually come with a Vinny figure with it. So
There you go. I found it.
it kind of looks like a kite.
Yeah, it looks like a kite.
Looks like a kite.
Yeah, a kite, and you got your figure that hangs on it. So I wonder if it actually flies. I don't know.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it
Not,
could.
not in
with
Jacksonville.
I
But
guess
the
The
bike-
bikes on these are cool because they're all painted up like they're what they're wearing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're painted up the same
matches.
thing. But I think one thing with these bikes, let's put this out since we're talking them. They're not painted silver; they're actual chrome.
yes.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, it's
they're
actually
chrome.
pieces.
They're chrome.
Mhm.
So that's a unique deal to these that we've come across so far. I think because I don't think anyone else has done that to actually chrome them.
Yeah, these and their bikes for these sets are like the basic vehicle bikes, which we'll get to in a minute, but they're colored like they're dressed in
Yeah,
these others.
Which
You know,
these are. We're showing them right now.
yeah, it's got the blue with the purple camo and the light blue and pink stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it all looks like what they're wearing as well. So, okay, so that's the Freedom Fighters, and we had the Biker Knights. This line didn't have any vehicles; they just had the three mice. You had Totalizer Throttle, Armatron Moto, and Invincible Vinny. So these are guys that look like they got big tech suits on that kind of that are, this one looks who are we looking at? Moto.
This is
He looks
Moto.
like it's like a robotic version of him. He already has a robotic arm, but his other arm is covered in armor. His legs are armor. He's got a big armored chest piece. He's got a big missiles that fold over his shoulder that shoot. So he's kind of like a RoboCop looking suit is what it looks like. All of them's got similar suits.
And
they're all
these are
looking.
chrome also.
Yes.
Yeah.
The chrome is chrome.
Yeah.
So very unique.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then let's see. Anything different for Vinny? He looks, he's like the others. They just have those high tech armor metal suits. So, okay, so we're going to go on to the next group, which is called Off-Road Bros. You have Turf Thrashing Throttle, Sand Slamming Moto, and Rock Ripping Vinny. So it's kind of like off-road type things. And then their vehicles weren't their motorcycles. They got ATV
got some
vehicles.
four-wheelers.
They're four-wheelers.
Yeah.
Is what they are. So you have Throttle's Trumper ATV, Moto's Dune Ripper ATV, and then Vinny's Rattler ATV.
But they are motorcycles with four wheels. Like the base of it looks like a motorcycle.
Yeah,
it's still a motorcycle. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a quad. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
It's a motorcycle with four wheels. Yeah, it doesn't look like a basic four-wheeler. Yeah.
No. Yeah,
They have one suspension in the front where one wheel looks like it would have been one wheel, and they just put two on each side. One on each side.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
You can really see that with throttles. The pink one there.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the fender. The front fender shows a little bit more on that.
Yeah, well,
to
the
me.
fender is still a single wheel fender.
Yeah.
And they just extended from there and made them.
Mm-hmm.
I like his motorcycle or his biker or his mouse logo at the front of it.
They all got little mouse logos on the front. Yeah, it's the shape of a mouse. It doesn't really have a picture on it. It's just a shape.
It's the shape of a little mouse. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in Vinny's, I think most of Vinny's have the opening to where there's a weapon right underneath here.
Yeah, it unfolds and there's it's similar to their basic vehicles.
Yeah.
So
I thought you were going to say Vinny's was a ski-doo that was had wheels put onto it.
It kind of
That's
looks
what it
like
looks
it. Yeah.
But it's got a winch on the back.
Yeah. Okay, so the next little group of or we have the Sports Bros, and again, this is similar to what the Ninja Turtles had. They had their sports thing with the turtles.
Is it noobs or nubs? N-U-B-S? Noobs?
I guess it's no. I don't know what. I guess it would be nubs for mouse. I don't know. So he's who are we looking at? This is Throttle. So this is Home Run Throttle. So he's got like a baseball looking uniform. He's got a baseball cap. His antenna are sticking out of the baseball cap. He's got a little rocket gun that shoots baseball bats at people. He's got a glove on one hand, and of course he's got to look big and tough. So he doesn't have any sleeves on his jersey, so he tore his sleeves off.
Of course.
Then you have what is this? Touchdown Moto. So his little weapon shoots little football looking missiles. He's got a helmet. Looks like some kind of, it could be like a football helmet that's retrofitted as a motorcycle helmet. Then he's got a jersey, looks like a football jersey on. So, and he's got shoulder pads covering his shoulders. And then who you want to look at? Slam Dunk Vinny. He shoots basketballs at people, and he's wearing tennis shoes. So
that gun that shoots the basketball doesn't look too small, but it could just be the way it was pictured. But
no, it's about the size, about as long as he is tall. Yeah, right. So it's about 4 inches long, I bet. So when you put the basketball on the end of it, yeah. So he's shooting basketballs at people. And then we have one more, which is another Vinny. No, there's two throttles. No, it was another throttle. Sorry. So whip kick throttle. So he's like was he kind of like a soccer looking dude? He looks like a European soccer league guy. That's what he looks like.
Football.
Yeah, football. If you want to say football from.
We'll get on to this if you actually like football.
Yeah. So
he looks like he's playing cricket.
Maybe it's cricket.
Well,
because look at those pads on his knees.
Kick.
He does have a soccer ball with him, but
I think those are shin guards for
Scroll down, John. Scroll down. See, look, he does have a soccer ball, but those look more like cricket pads than
they do.
Football pads.
But he comes with a soccer ball.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But he
But
doesn't
then
shoot the
you know
soccer ball.
what?
He kicks
You know
the
what?
soccer ball.
This is
He
the
doesn't-
90s.
I
They
don't.
may have worn different things for soccer in the 90s.
True.
America
think
hadn't
he's-
figured out what
I
soccer
don't think
was
he was
yet.
made to battle anybody because he doesn't have any weapons. He's just got a soccer ball he kicks. So
We'd
I
have
don't
to
know.
find out more on that to see if the soccer ball explodes. We're supposed to.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Soccer
I don't
bomb.
know. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back. So we get to the basic vehicles, and I know we talked about these vehicles with the other lines. The other lines, their vehicles look almost exactly the same as the basic one, just different colors, different things. So you have Throttle's Martian Monster Bike, and
Which
this
is your
one is
classic
actually
chopper
it's a
style.
classic Harley looking motorcycle. It's got the tailpipes. You can either move up and down, and then on the side there's a button, and you press that button, and it shoots a missile out of the tailpipes.
Oh, so backwards right here.
So yeah, it
Boom.
shoots back behind them. Now on these three bikes that we're going to talk about, they all come with either a flat seat saddle or a ergonomic saddle to fit the tail better on the mice. As you can tell, it's like the picture you're looking at there, John, has a little groove in the back of the seat. That's where when you put your figure down, the tail would actually sit in there better. Because if you would put them down in the first version of those, it had a flat seat, so the mice wouldn't fit perfectly on the motorcycles. They kind of sit up because they have that tail that keeps them from sitting flat. So there's two versions for each of these bikes with the seats. So the next one you have Moto's Mondo Chopper. Yes, that's the other one with kind of a flat seat there. Yeah.
So we're on Mondo's chopper.
So Moto's Mondo Chopper.
This is the flat side.
Yeah. So that one's got a feature as well. The front part of the bike will fold up, and it has a gun under it. And when you roll it, it's got two little things that it looks like it's firing. It's got two guns on each side. It looks like it's firing as you roll the motorcycle. So, which is a cool little feature on that. So it looks like you're going pow 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 with
So right here on the
guns.
arms, it looks like.
Yeah, see that
up here
where
on this
yeah.
side.
Yeah, so the top picture you were looking at, John, it's down, and then that part folds up, and it has the little guns under there that shoot. So kind of a cool little feature. And this is more of like a chopper, chopper type bike. Something else that it does is the rear wheel. This back of the bike comes up, so it kind of gives it a rake stance as well as you're shooting your bad guys. So let's see. So the last bike for the bikes for the mice, you have Vinny's Radical Rocket Sled. This is more like a super sport bike. He actually has that rake stance as well on the back wheel
right
pops. There. Yeah, the back end pops up over the wheel and it jacks it up. So that one's really jacked up there. See, it does. Oh, in the front windshield folds open, and there's a gun inside the wind cover there. Yeah.
Yeah, and from what I was watching on a video, the reason this one really has that rake in the back to where it pops it up more is if you don't, that gun shoots up.
Yeah, it's kind of more of it. It has to do that to make a flat shot.
When the back comes up, it makes it level.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually put thought into that. They were like, "Oh, we're not going to change the angle of the gun. We're just going to jack up the back."
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Now we have a couple others. You have Throttle's Blazing Cycle.
Which one's that?
Which he has it's a second bike that he has. And again, it's kind of a Harley looking bike as well.
I like this one.
But this one's pretty cool. Pretty cool piece. Let's see.
Yeah,
it's just got a big rear wheel. I'm trying to. This one's got a ripcord where you pull the ripcord and he takes off. So that's the difference between this bike and his normal bike. That's why the rear wheel is a big back tire. Is you got that ripcord, you stick it in there and you pull the ripcord out and it spins the wheel and it just takes off.
Cool.
So yeah. Yeah. So next one you have the Super Sidecar. I know we talked about this a while ago. It's another motorcycle, and then on each side it has a sidecar, so you can fit all three mice all on one vehicle with this guy. One driving and two in the sidecars. Each sidecar has different weapons on it, so you have some laser guns and missiles and stuff as well. This one also, I believe, shoots out of the tailgate too, or tailpipes. Goes backwards, and then the front ones shoot forward. On the sidecars, they shoot missiles forward. So it's a pretty cool piece. I like how they can get all three mice on one vehicle like that. So it's a pretty good sized piece.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one they have is a jail cruiser. It's a motorcycle with a jailhouse looking thing behind it. So it kind of pulls
it pulls the jail cell with it.
Yeah, it just says so. But this one's
amazing to see the size of this one compared to that mouse.
It's a big figure. Yeah, this one's a big vehicle here.
Yeah, you could probably get 5 or 6 of the biker mice in the back of this if you put them in there.
Yeah.
So
it's a huge piece. Yeah, and you see where the jail folds down and it folds back up. So it's kind of like a flat bed, and then all the pieces fold up, and you can put your bad guys in them, and you can haul them off the jail in it. So
can't they just jump out the top?
That's why there's all these.
Well, that's why they have little pointy things at the top, so you don't get out. It's like barbed wire.
But if you jump high enough and the motorcycle's moving, maybe you just fly out.
Well, think about look how big the mouse is compared to that wall, though. He ain't gonna. I mean, I guess they could. Mice jump pretty high.
They're aliens.
They can jump. And they're aliens, so yeah.
They're aliens. I don't know. Maybe they'll get beamed.
But all the bad guys look like fish.
That's true.
They're not
the
gonna
bad guys are kind of fishy. Yeah. But that's a good size. That's probably the biggest piece of the whole line is that piece right there.
That is a big piece.
That jail cruiser. So, and then there's one more vehicle. It's there's actually the only vehicle for the bad guys. It is Grease Pit's Grunge Cycle. So
I love this one.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
love
like
the little wheel in the front. I love the big wheels in the back.
Out strike.
Yeah. And he's got
the umbrella.
Umbrella. I don't know why he's got the umbrella on top of it, but he does.
He's got 2 more grease barrels here, and then his grease barrel actually attaches to the back side of this.
Yeah.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
So that way he still has his gun.
Or he can squirt water. Yeah, he can squirt water as he's going down the road.
Interesting.
It's
cool if they thought about that.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
But it clips on there, and then, but again, this is the only vehicle for the bad guys.
Yeah.
It says pumping and dumping barrels.
Yeah.
And on the side, on the side of the gas tank, it's got a kind of a skull and crossbones type look to it. The headlight looks like just a lamp, a desk lamp with a shade.
I was about to say that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I think this is where Jeff Gordon got his flaming theme for his car.
Yeah, he's got it's a kind of a blue back fenders with the red and yellow flames. Yeah, it kind of looks like that paint style he had. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool piece.
Yeah, it says the headlight is a living room lamp. Yep.
Okay, it's a living room lamp. Okay.
Interesting.
All right, a few other things real quick. There were some gift sets as well that you get. We'll just run through these real quick. You have the Moto gift set. It's Moto with his motorcycle because the mice came separate from the vehicles. So these gift sets came with the vehicle and the mice, their motorcycle and the mouse. Then you have Throttle's gift set. And then we had Vinny's gift set. And then you had another Moto street bike gift set, which is him in his which one was that? That's the off-road. Yeah, the off-road suit's what Vinny's wearing or Moto's wearing, and then he's got his bike that's for the but it's a two-wheel. It's the two-wheel version of the off-road bike instead of the four-wheel version.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what that is. So that's your 4 gift sets. And you got 2 play sets that did come with this as well. You had Dr. Carbuncle's Transporter and Secret Lab. So he would transport the bad guys from their planet to Earth to try to take over Earth. So that's what this is, a little transporter. This one's kind of pretty tall too. I don't know the dimensions, but it's probably about 9 to 10 inches tall, I would think.
Yeah, but it looks like you can fit maybe 1-2 figures in that little thing. Whereas that transporter, that jail bike, you can fit a good amount of characters in there. That thing was huge.
Yeah. So, and then the other one was the mice playset. It's the scoreboard hideout. So it's kind of like the backside of the scoreboard at Quigley Field, I guess, is where they hide at. So they've got different little things going on where they can park their bikes, kind of service them. Then they have guns, and they have a little basketball thing where you can shoot baskets, because they've got the sports guys. So it's it's pretty cool little thing there. I mean, they're not big and detailed like some other play sets we've seen, but they are kind of little fun things with the mice with these figures can be with. So so you have real quick, you have the 12-inch Mega mice. So it's just a 12-inch version of Throttle, Moto, and Vinny. So nothing really crazy about that. They just look like they're smaller versions. They're just bigger.
Do their antennas still go down in their head?
Well, I don't think these come with their helmets and stuff. I don't think. So, yeah. So I don't think there's any need for that. And then you have the super bendable. Like I said, those are just a little rubber figures with the metal wire where you can just bend them wherever you want, however you want to do it. And then you have the micro machines. Yeah, there's the super. They kind of look like the WWE wrestlers that we talked about. So, so the micro machines, they're not on that page you're looking at, John.
No, they're not.
Them hiding in at the baseball field at Quigley Field just made me think. All we really need to make the turtles and the mice like official would be like some hockey playing ducks. And I think we're good, right?
Kind of like Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, there we go. We're gonna have to talk about them soon.
Mighty Ducks.
This is a fun toy line.
This is. I like this toy line.
Yeah.
With all the stuff that's on this one. This one it's just so much fun.
I'm really upset that this was more 90s than the 80s, though.
Yeah, it is a little more 90s than the 80s. But that's okay. We had to get there, right?
Right.
This is coming off Turtles. There's a lot of things that come off Turtles like this, like the Mighty Ducks, the different ways that they do those and everything. So these guys. So we need to rank these guys.
Okay, so real quick on the micro machines, you had 4 sets. You had one that had Throttle. It has a little truck with it and a bad guy on a motorcycle, and then you had Vinny with him and his motorcycle, and it had Grease Trap with his 3-wheeler, and then some other kind of little, looks like an alien spaceship, and then you have Moto. It had Moto with his motorcycle and another bad guy and another kind of a tanker looking thing, alien tanker. And then the fourth Micro Machine set was a was it Last Chance Garage, which is a little garage, and each mouse with their bikes is what they had, the 3 of them in it. So that's your Micro Machine. So
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's rank these guys, see where they fit in, and then we also got to find out if Larry had any of these. So, where do you guys put these?
I'd put these. I kind of like these. Are pretty cool little line. You know, when they came out, I was already in high school, so I wasn't even thinking about this. But I like the line a lot. If it came out a little earlier, we probably had more of them. I'm gonna put them about number 5 on my list.
Wow. Number 5 for Michael.
Mm-hmm.
John?
You're pushing Rock Lord stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like Michael. I wish these would have come out a little bit earlier. I wish I would have really remembered them. I mean, I was 13 when they came out, but I guess I was getting into other things.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go higher than Michael and put them at 4, right under Police Academy. I think they're. I think this was a really neat and fun toy line.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. That's so sad that Michael went 4 and you went, or Michael went 5, you went 4, John, because these are number 1 for me on this. I'm pretty sure it was a Moto. Fit right in with my Turtles. I didn't have any of the vehicles. I wish I did, especially after looking at these again. Some of the vehicles would have been awesome to have on these. So these are going number 1 for me, especially out of the ones that we've talked about. These ones are
That's cool.
These are pretty awesome. I mean, like I said, these are right up there with my Turtles.
These fit in close, and I kind of looking at the list, you know, where I got them. It's right there with Police Academy and Sky Commanders and that area, you know, Rock Lords. So they all kind of mesh together, I guess. The type of action figure they are. Yeah,
they do. They fit right there with everything that, you know, that we've talked about.
Yeah,
that is an action figure like that. So. Wow. What do we have? Oh, we got to find out if Larry had them. What do you guys think? You think Larry had them?
This is kind of getting into the 90s, but at the same time,
the year,
cool. I'm going to go yes.
No.
We got a yes and we got a no. Larry.
Hey, it's Larry from the SDS guys. This is a fun one. Biker Mice from Mars. Super early 90s, right? Totally remember the cartoon. Totally remember the commercials. But no, man, I didn't have one of these. I was a Ninja Turtles kid around that time, I think. So no Biker Mice from Mars for me.
All right, I guessed it.
I've gotten to the point that when he starts talking, depending on what he says about them, I can tell whether he. Because I'm trying not to listen, but I can kind of tell what he's going to say. So sad that he didn't have any of these, because these are, like we've talked about, these are pretty cool. So
yeah, and like I said, they fit right in with the Turtles. They're about the same size. They're almost just like Turtles. So they fit in perfectly with them.
Well,
I mean, yeah,
the Micro Machine pieces are not that cheap if you can find them.
No, they're not. No, they're pretty high dollar.
There's one for one of the Micro Machine pieces. I found it at $25. And
I didn't find any that were really cheap unless you were just looking for open figures that didn't have anything with them, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's fine for me. I may grab a couple of these. They're, you know,
I think they're cool. I'd love to get, you know, a set of the bikes and everything. You know.
Yeah, I like how another thing I noticed, each mouse has a different type of bike. You had Throttle, who had a Harley looking bikes. You had Moto, who had the chopper looking bikes, and then you had was it Vinny? Vinny had the super sport bikes kind of. So he had 3 different types of motorcycles that go along with the 3 different mice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll definitely put this on my list to watch for.
Yeah, and the cartoon, I believe the cartoon still somewhat stands up, kind of like the Turtles. It's not as much fun as the Turtles show or the Turtles cartoon, but it's kind of like that. It still stands up, so you should go watch it. I remember it. It was a lot of fun. So
yes, I don't remember the cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon's a lot of fun. All right, well, this is 87, episode 87. We're getting very close to that episode 100.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited about that. So, everybody, thanks for listening to episode 87. You should also go over to check out crossthestreamsmedia.com. You can check out all of our partner podcasts we have over there. There's a whole group of them. You can leave them voicemails. You can leave us voicemails. You can you can rate the podcast. And all kinds of stuff. Just check out crossthestreamsmedia.com. You can also see all of our stuff on toyrewindpodcast.com, like John mentioned earlier. So do that. Share our posts. Look at the stuff. We've been posting a lot of new social media stuff with some of the toys that Michael found at a local. What is Canton?
It's local.
It's a
Trades Day.
Trades Day. That's what I was trying to think. I was like, what is it? Yeah, what is it?
Trades Day.
So we've been posting a lot of that, a lot of cool stuff. So share that, like it, enjoy it, and anything else we want to add about the biker mice from Mars besides that they're really cool?
Well, they're pretty cool and not cheesy. So
not cheesy. John, do you want one? Go ahead.
I don't have one.
He didn't even have one. All right. Well, with that, thanks for listening to the episode. Hope you learned something. And on behalf of the Brothers Newland of the Toy Rewind podcast, play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.